One of the 9 major attributes of the Buddha is that he is the greatest scientist of the world, the greatest or the supreme authority of the nature of the world. The word used by that epithet is Loka Vidu. The conventional meaning of the word Loka is world, Vidu means the scientist. But here it means that the Buddha is the supreme authority on the nature of the world. He has perfected the understanding of the nature of the world. The word Loka with the conventional meaning of world is used by the Buddha not to denote the world outside us, but the world inside us. That is nothing but our own mind. In the Rohitasa Sutta, a discourse that comes in the volume 1 of Samyutta Nikaya, that is page 118, Buddha uttered, our entire world is within our 1 fathom. Fathom means 6 feet length. 1 fathom body. Vyamatta kalebiri panyapimi lokancha. The meaning is, the entire world that we experience, that we know, is a mental image created by the sense organs located in our body. Eye, ear, nose, etc. provide information to the mind to create the image of the world that we experience. Other than this mental image, we cannot experience the world outside through our sense organs, which are incapable of knowing the reality of anything. Their capacities are limited. The capacity of our eye, ear, nose, etc. are extremely limited. They cannot know the reality of anything. For example, our eyes cannot see that more than 99.9% of things that we see as solid is not solid but emptiness, voidness. Scientists have found that the atoms that go to create solid things in the world consist of emptiness more than 99.99, calculated by 12 decimal points. 99.9 more than that amount is void, empty, and that we cannot see that. We can't hear radio waves, mobile waves, TV waves, etc. Telegraphic waves, we cannot hear those sounds. We cannot smell even when a dog can smell. That shows our sense organs are very limited, extremely limited with regard to their capacity to know things. And which is this wrong information, incomplete information, partial information, distorted information that our mind creates the image of the world that we experience. And that is our main ignorance. In fact, in the system called Paticcasamuppada, the dependent origination, Buddha says our thoughts are formed by our ignorance of the Four Noble Truths. Four Noble Truth means the transformation. Dukkha is transformation. Transformation is dynamic. Transformation means everything is creative, active, and because of that constant activity, things get always transformed so that nothing can retain a permanent identity. In fact, a Greek philosopher called Heraclitus said, Heraclitus lived in the 5th century BC. He said, no one can step into the same river twice. That means when we step into the river once, that river is no more there, it has gone down when you try to step in a second time. Even the first time, we cannot step into a river because when we think of stepping into the river and when we are lowering our feet, the river that we thought of stepping into has gone away. Ephemeral. All events in this world, whether it is in solid, liquid, gas or air or heat, things are changing in all elements, constantly changing. Therefore, we cannot know the reality of anything made out of the physical elements of the world. Even the mental world we cannot know really without the realization of the ultimate truth by enlightenment. In the Paticcasamuppada Sutta, there are a number of sutras in the Tripitaka. For example, in the Paticcasamuppada Sutta that is discussed on the page 2 of volume 2 in the Samyutta Nikaya, Buddha says, Avidya Pacca Sankara. Sankara means mental images, thought forms. Thought forms are created by our ignorance of the Four Noble Truths. That means, when we are not enlightened, we cannot see the reality of anything. We can realize the reality of anything. And it is this ignorance of the Four Noble Truths. Enlightenment means realizing the Four Noble Truths. Non-enlightened means not knowing or not realizing the nature of the Four Noble Truths. And in this Sutta, Paticcasamuppada Sutta of Samyutta Nikaya, page volume, it's referred to the 5 aspects of a thought. Rupa, Vedana, Sanya, Sankara, Vijnana. 5 aspects of a mental image. 5 aspects of a thought. That means we are ignorant of the real nature of our thoughts. How the thoughts arises, how the thoughts decay, how the thought vanishes, we don't know. If we know that, we are enlightened. Then no more thoughts, no images, illusions will arise in our eye. The enlightened mind is called sunyata. The sunyata is the word used to denote nirvana. Nirvana is emptiness, voidness. Emptiness of what? Nirvana is nowhere else, it is in our own mind, but covered by our thought forms, mental images. We can realize nirvana when there is complete emptiness of the mind. That is, when the mind is free from all its mental formations called thought forms, mental images. Mental images are created, mental images are thoughts. We think of things that we like, dislike, or that we are illusion, that we are ignorant of. When our likes, dislikes, and illusions are extinct at the enlightenment, no more thoughts, no more mental images get formed in our mind. Then the mind becomes empty. It is knowing this reality means knowing the entire world. As I mentioned, Buddha said in the Rohitasa Sutta, that comes in the Samyutta Nikaya, volume 1, page 108, as I mentioned earlier. Our entire world is in our own body, which is about 6 feet. Vyamata Kalabiri, Panya Pipilokacha. Because our world, as I mentioned earlier, is what is created by our own mind through the information supplied by the sense organs. Sense organs are in our physical body. Therefore, what the body is about, our body is about 6 feet. That's why Vyamata Kalabiri. It is the body that sends signals to the mind to create the world that we experience. And that world, as I mentioned, is not outside us, but inside us. But we think that we are inside the world, whereas the ultimate truth, according to the Buddha, is that the entire world that we experience is inside us, in our own mind, and that world is created by our mental images, by our thought forms. Thought form was thinking. Every thought is a mental image. Not one mental image, a series of mental images. They are called chittakana. They appear, disappear instantly. Sparks of thoughts. Those sparks create images. And those images are illusions. Buddha realized this. The arising of the world, the world, the mind as it is, how the mind is minding. In Pali it's called manyati. Minding means we become aware. And thoughts are formed. How they are formed, how they arises, how they disappear, and the way for their disappearance. The thought disappear when the causes for the thought disappear. According to Buddha's teaching, there are 3 main causes. That is liking, disliking, and ignorance. Raga, dosa, moha. Enlightenment means the mind free from raga, dosa, moha. That is why enlightenment is called raga kaya, extinction of raga, attachment. Dosa kaya, extinction of resentment. Moha kaya, ignorance, extinction of ignorance. And that means an enlightened mind. Therefore, enlightenment means the disappearance of the mental world, which is an illusion that our own mind has created through the information supplied by our sense organs and interpreted by the memories with regard to such information in our own brain cells as our memories. All memories are defective. All sensory informations are defective. When sensory informations are defective, the memories of those information that we call knowledge is also defective. Therefore, our entire mental world is an illusion. Ignorance is nothing but the wrongly formed, defective form called the mental world. Buddha became an expert of that mental world, and he went beyond our mental world of mental forms. When there are no mental forms, the actual, real, original mind comes up. And that original mind is called nirvana. It is eternal. It is said that the original mind in Tatiya Nibbana Sutta of Anguttara Nikaya, volume 1 on page 274. Ajatang, abhutang, akatang, asankatang. The nirvana, the original state of mind is ajat, is not born. Abhutang, not an event, not an happening. Akatang, it is not done. Asankatang, it is not formed by things that are available. And that is the eternity, the ultimate truth, that is covered by our mind, which is nothing but the world created by the mind. And it is beyond that illusion. The reality called the nirvana lies, which is free of all mental forms. And that is why it is called sunyata, the voidness, emptiness. Empty of thinking and empty of feeling. Buddha became an expert of the thought process that creates the world we experience. He knew the cause of the thought process, and he realized the cause, and he realized the arising of the thought process, and he realized the ending or the extinction of the thought process, and also the technique of ending the thought process. That is called enlightenment, the realization of the ultimate truth, hidden by the illusory mental world created by our own mind. We too, through insight, our own insight, we have the capacity to penetrate into the mental world and realize the ultimate truth hidden behind the illusory mental world that we call loka.